Number one overall, Mel, you have Nick Bosa going to the Cardinals. We've heard the things Cliff Kingsbury has said about Kyler Murray. He's a big fan, but he's also said Josh Rosen is our guy. So how confident are you about the Cardinals going Bosa at 1?
You know what you do with guys with a mock draft? You call around and you get different opinions and you try to build some type of a consensus. Steve Keim drafted Josh Rosen. I thought he held his own for getting no help. He seems like the players in that locker room really believe in him. You move forward. Josh Rosen would have a higher grade than any quarterback in this draft if you go basically apples to apples here and you try to project a year with a year experience of where they would be. But I think they're happier with Josh Rosen than they would have been with any quarterback, including Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is he 5'9", 5'10", hand size, body type? There's still some things at the Combine and Pro Day that he's going to have to answer. To give up on Josh Rosen and go that direction, I don't see it happening based on the people I've spoken to. So I went with Bosa over Josh Allen. That's going to be the debate. Do you trade out of there? Do you take Bosa or Allen? Right now it seems like Bosa may be the lean. Who knows internally what they're thinking. But trading out of there, if a team wants to go up and get Haskins, may be something Arizona's may be interested in listening to.
Mel, I'm very surprised by that draft order. Nick Bosa is the foolproof, right? He's going to be a stud. But people felt that way about Nick Chubb last year. Bradley Chubb last year. He's the best pass rusher by so much. You might as well get him there. Question marks about everyone, including Cleveland Browns quarterback.
Baker Mayfield?
Including Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, everyone. So they're going to go Bradley Chubb. But they not only didn't go Bradley Chubb, they went the talented quarterback, out of the Big 12 who they had questions about, right? Isn't that Kyler Murray this year? And isn't Nick Bosa basically Bradley Chubb?
Well, yeah, Chubb had a great year, and Chubb ended up going to a team that utilized him and put him out there with Von Miller, and he's a tremendous player and a tremendous young man. He's going to have a huge future, and he already showed that. I think when taking Denzel Ward over Chubb was what Cleveland was kind of debating there. Do you take the corner, the pass rusher, and put him opposite Garrett? They thought Ogbo would come on. He didn't, but that was a decision they made. Ward played well until he got hurt. I think when you look at Murray, Murray's different in that he's 5'9.5". He's not 6'1", 220 like Baker Mayfield was and is. I think that body type, when you think about it, we've never seen before. We've seen Baker Mayfield types, before. We haven't seen Kyler Murray types go this far. There's no comp to Kyler Murray, guys. There's none. So I think when you talk about the number 1 pick, 4 pick, even a first-round pick for that matter, I've been 13 to Miami. You've never seen this ever happen before. So I think some answers maybe come at the Combine when you see him. Does he look like he can hold up? When he looks those guys in the eye, does he look like an NFL quarterback? Put him on a board. His football IQ should be really good. The hand size, people always look at that. 9 is the difference between you can do it or you can't. We'll see hand size, what Kyler Murray comes in at. So still some things to be determined. The answers I got back from when I asked that question this week, guys, was leave Kyler Murray at 13. Don't move him up. That seems to be fair for right now in the process.
It's interesting that you say that, Mel. Just this morning we got some news. Peter King was speaking to Lincoln Riley, the coach at OU, and he said that 91% of the passes Kyler Murray threw were from the pocket while at OU last season. 91% of his passes were from the pocket. So when you look at him in comparison to Dwayne Haskins, handicap that for us. Break that down. What makes one quarterback better than the other for the next level in light of that 91% that Kyler Murray was throwing from the pocket.
Right, that's good. Stephen, that's a great point because I think you look at how do you compare. I don't. Remember when Manziel came out, I said he's a wild card, he's an outlier. I don't know what he's going to be. Baker Mayfield last year was the wild card. The big 3 we knew. It was Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen. Baker Mayfield was the wild card. This year, the wild card, again, is Kyler Murray. So you really don't compare him to Haskins. Haskins is a traditional guy. Everybody knows what you're getting there, even though he was 1 year as a starter. We don't know Kyler. We're hoping, I think, if you draft him, say at 13 or wherever in the first round, you hope that today's NFL, with the shotgun, so deep getting that shotgun snap, not under center, basically in space. Todd McShay's been talking about this stat. It's a great stat. More passes batted down for 6 foot and over quarterbacks than 6 foot and under quarterbacks like Kyler Murray. So I think today's NFL makes this happen. It's kind of the perfect storm for him coming out at the right time in the right situation. And he's going to be able to protect his body. He can slide. We know that. We know how lightning quick he is. He's got eyes in the back of his head. He senses things that nobody else can. You mentioned the pocket ability. That's the underrated part. He will sit in that pocket. He will wait. He'll go through progressions, and he's tremendously accurate. His completion percentage was right where Mayfield's was, and he accounted for more touchdowns this season than Baker Mayfield did during his great year 2 seasons ago. So, hey, I said 3 months ago, Kyler Murray's 6 foot tall, 5'11". It's no discussion. He's the number 1 pick. But at 5'9.5", it makes it interesting.
So let's go to the other quarterback that people are talking about, many projected to the Giants, including you, at 6, Dwayne Haskins. You said something interesting to me earlier, Mel. You said that Sam Darnold, did you say Sam Darnold would have, Josh Rosen would have graded out as the best quarterback in this draft? To me, Dwayne Haskins looks like a better prospect than Josh Rosen, or even probably Sam Darnold, though he's not as mobile as Sam Darnold. What do you think of, where does Haskins rate in all this? Why would you give him a grade under where Josh Rosen was last year?
Well, they were better quarterbacks coming out. I think that those guys were elite. We had talked 2 years ago about those guys, even before they were in the draft, that if they would have come out earlier, they would have been highly. They were considered special. And I said back in August, prior to those kids coming out last year, that in August, that it wouldn't set up well for those. They were, Josh Allen lost everything around him. Sam Darnold lost a lot around him. And Josh Rosen was at UCLA where they didn't have a ton of talent. So it wasn't set up for those guys to live up to all the hype in terms of the numbers and the way they were expected to take over and dominate games and be spectacular. So people were kind of wondering, are you overrating them? No, you weren't. They're great quarterbacks. And I talked to people in the league, guys, that said, these guys this year, be thankful if you're those teams you got those quarterbacks, because they're better. And every team in the first round, from Lamar Jackson to Baker and everybody in between, those guys they're thrilled to have. And they don't have to worry about this group. Dwayne Haskins is a 1-year starter. That's it. And he had a little struggles early in the year, the Penn State game. But I like the fact he got better. He learned, and he seems like he's going to be all in to be a quarterback. He loves the challenge and the pressure that comes from being a quarterback. But it's no criticism of him to say those guys are better. Those guys were considered super elite and special entities for a 2-year period.